Today, as we honor and continue to learn and reflect on National Day for Truth and Reconciliation and Orange Shirt Day, I would like to begin by acknowledging that the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabeg, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Welcome to the show. My first guest today is an amazing chef and restaurateur, as well as a Top Chef Canada alumni. Please welcome Tawnya Brant. Hi, Tawnya! Oh my God! Oh, it is so good to see you! Oh my gosh, I am so thrilled. I am such a huge fan of yours. Watching you on Top Chef Canada, I was like, this girl knows what's up. Yeah.
I've been cooking for a year or two, so I like to think it's it comes naturally.
Yeah, even in front of cameras, you're like, I got this.
Yeah, it was natural.
Yeah. You were absolutely amazing. It was so great watching you. And you have a catering company and a restaurant and a shop, right?
Yes, I'm on Six Nations, so it's about 20 minutes south of Hamilton. I have a shop called Yawego, which means it's delicious in the Mohawk language.
Oh, I love that.
So yeah, we're there. We do catering. We have a lunch counter. It's a lot of moving parts. Do like workshops and teaching and different things like that, where we get to travel around and do some fun stuff. So
that's amazing.
That's kind of what we're concentrating on right now, and some product development.
Nice.
So
give me a little bit on that.
Yeah. So we're it's a lot of things all at once, right? So we're kind of just kidding.
Just making it work. I love it. Honestly, when did your passion for food start?
Like I can remember cooking at like 5 years old, just making like grilled cheese sandwiches and just little easy things at home. But I would never let my sons touch the stove yet. Like I can do it at 5 years old. Like, Ma, you let me? But my mom was a school teacher, so I think everything was kind of a project with her and all her daughters. And she's like, yeah, you can do it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, just, don't touch it if you get burnt.
Yeah.
So she kind of let us do what it is that we wanted to do in that sense. I got my first restaurant job. I was 12.
Oh.
So I started.
Front of house or back of house?
It was front of the house.
Oh.
I started just waitressing and stuff like that. And then the owner was kind of like, just get back there. So obviously that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
So really I owe it to her.
Yeah.
But then all just my jobs throughout school, like high school, university, like everything was just going to restaurants.
Yeah.
And I came to my senses and was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And I was taking archaeology at the time.
I went to school for archaeology, and I also was like, I don't know if I want to do that. That's wild.
My mom had a little paper when I was in the second grade. So what do you want to be when you grow up? And that was like Jurassic Park year, right?
Yeah.
Like 1992. Said a chef or an archaeologist. And I'm just like, really? I didn't remember the paper. We just came across it one day. So that was pretty cool. But so just since then, I've 29 years this year I've been cooking.
Wow.
So it's getting there. Like you said, it's life. We're just doing it.
Yes. Well, one of the things you're so great at, you have such a passion for teaching and learning and sharing through food in particular. And on a day like today, food is something really special for you, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think this is my healing journey. This is my truth and reconciliation. This is my showing what's important to me, that I want to share this part of my culture with everybody, I think. Because we see a lot of language and ceremony and a lot of community events, but we don't really what about the food, right? And being Haudenosaunee people, our entire ceremony calendar follows our food systems and what we're celebrating and what we're doing at those times of year. Everything goes back to food. Even our technical skills, like we're making corn pounders, ladles, like all of these different things that we make, it all goes back to our culture. So I feel like this is just my little speck of contribution where I can do what I can. We grew up with traditional foods. My mom's a seed keeper. So definitely grew up with a lot of interesting Haudenosaunee varieties: corns, beans, squash, potatoes. And then foraged foods is kind of a new passion where I'm educating myself on that now more, and I want to replace my spice cabinet one day, hopefully.
That's amazing. Yeah. Well, speaking of foraged food, you brought some in because we're going to cook, and I'm very excited about that. You brought in some foraged food here, right?
Yep. So these are from outside.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a spice blend. So we call this a Uego house spice blend because it kind of like Frank's, it can go on anything.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So it definitely works for vegetables, proteins, game meats especially. So what we have here are ramps.
Oh, I
you
love
can see
ramps.
those. So they grow outside. They're pretty big. They look a little fresher than this when they're outside, but they can be eaten fresh as well. A lot of things like pestos is a great addition to it. You don't want to use too much of a heavy hand because you're gonna taste it for like the next 2 weeks. This is like the make you mosquito proof for the summer type of stuff. So it's, but you definitely get it's an oniony, garlicky type of taste.
100%.
Right? So that's what I'm trying to. Oh, we can throw some in here
let's
too.
chuck 'em
So
in. I love that.
Yeah, we'll just break it up some.
All right.
The other one we have here is wild garlic. So wild garlic is really great. It's fun. I usually use these bulbs. Like I'll take that when I'm braising meats, and so they go in there and reconstitute because they get pretty hard.
Yeah.
But if you smell it, it smells like a toasted garlic powder.
It smells like garlic powder. It's like roasted garlic powder.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's
it's
amazing.
This is just oregano.
Amazing.
I put about a tablespoonish of everything in there.
Love that. I love a
little bit
tablespoon of everything
peppercorn.
recipe.
Yeah, that's like Indigenous cooking. It's like I'm usually like you get a field and a fire over there, and there's a rock you can use, not like, $1 million kitchen or anything like that, right? So it's like just make stuff work.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put a bit of each of those in there, and we can just go for it.
Can I do the honors? What is this beaut? Because I love this little thingy.
Yeah. So this is Priscilla.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
She gets around a lot.
Yeah.
But we take her traveling. We go to food summits, farming conferences, universities, colleges.
Yeah.
Anywhere where we might need to grind some stuff up, she usually gets to come.
That's amazing.
The staff have named her at this point because she gets to come everywhere. Just very heavy, but you know, we love her.
Oh my gosh, she is heavy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the thing's like 10 pounds.
This smells so good. And I know, because you're getting into foraging, right?
Yeah, so that's me teaching myself and really wanting that. What I found was working with it, right? Working with it is the only way. Like, we don't have a cookbook. I can't sit there and say, hey, how do I use this, that, and the other thing?
Yeah.
There's nobody. There's not really anybody for me to turn to. A lot of people have really beautiful stories about their grandparents and stuff, teaching them how to cook. I didn't really have that because my grandparents went to residential schools. They were taught how to read a Campbell's soup can, right? Like that's what they expected. They weren't graduating doctors and lawyers when they did that.
Yeah.
And you know, a 1950s housewife, whatever they were cooking, that's what I learned from them.
100%.
Right? In terms of traditional foods, we did have a few foods that we worked with. The corn that we're going to use later is definitely a huge one.
Amazing.
But that's it's all part of our healing journey, right? And that's what we're doing. So I just feel like this is my contribution, and one day, hopefully, that'll be something that where my kids don't gotta be like, what is that? It'll just be like, where's that?
100%, 100%. All right, so what are we? This smells amazing, by the way.
You can see it comes together. We'll just put the big stuff to the side.
I didn't
use the little.
The little guys?
Yeah.
So what are we going to do with this seasoning blend?
So what we're going to do with this blend, we're actually going to use it 2 ways.
Okay.
The first way is going to be, we're going to do some fish, right? So the fish, and then we can get that in the oven and it can get cooking.
Delish.
So what we have here is walleye or pickerel.
I love walleye.
My dad's from Tanya, Mohawk territory, and they're a huge spearfishing community. So that's where this is from. I want to thank my brother-in-law, Chucky, for getting us some fish today.
Thanks, Chucky. Yeah.
Got some love, Chuck.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a seed-encrusted walleye.
Delicious.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've used one of these before.
Yeah, I know, right? But they always open the opposite way that you think. Always, every time.
Even when there's no cameras.
Yeah.
So we have sunflower seeds, hemp hearts, and pumpkin seeds.
Oh, that's so much protein and fiber and stuff in there, too.
This is, like the world's most nutritious batter.
Yeah.
We call it a batter.
Yeah.
So we'll smell that.
The world's loudest machine, too. Yeah.
Just enough to get it to come together. It doesn't have to be a complete flour.
Yeah.
You want to see those nice pieces.
100%.
And you get a nice little crunch from it.
The little bit of color in there from the pumpkin seed, too.
See that? Yeah, that's a gorgeous little, like a pistachio kind of color.
It is like a pistachio kind of color. Oh my gosh, that
when we
looks
put it
beautiful.
in there, we shouldn't really need any type of, you can use an egg wash, but it should stay on its own. This way I like to keep it. People can keep like egg-free, gluten-free. Like we do a lot of allergy cooking.
Yeah.
So we just kind of keep it on its own. So we can throw these in here.
A little bit of the seasoning too.
Oh yeah, you should probably put that on the fish
yeah,
first.
I gotta do that. Yeah. I'm here for you. I
Put it on
love this.
top later.
Yeah. This looks beautiful.
But you'll see. So it's just like that. If you want a little more when it's on the plate, you can kind of do that so it'll bake down. But
That
they look
stuck
really pretty.
perfectly.
Yeah, so it's usually pretty good. So if your fish is a little too wet, it might kind of fall off.
Yeah.
But that's why, like, as long as you pat it nicely, like that's all you need to do.
That's amazing.
And this can be pan fried or done in the oven. If you're doing an oven, if you have a convection setting or an air fryer, perfect. You can get it done in about maybe 7-8 minutes.
Ooh.
If you're using in the oven, I'd say about 15 minutes in a traditional oven there at 350.
Nice.
Or you can pan fry it. The only thing is you only want to like flip your protein once, and just being careful when you lift it, just to
knock off all those delicious seeds.
You don't want to break your crust off.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I need a shirt that says that. But don't break your crust off. Yeah. This smells so beautiful and delicious.
Alrighty.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
We got lots of pieces here.
Tons of pieces. I love also that all the pieces are clearly this was made by your family. Hand cut.
I don't know why they cut it like this.
Yeah.
Like they're big fish and they're scary. Like their face is like that.
They are. You don't want to be on the wrong side of a walleye. Yeah.
As a kid, my dad would just be like, "Okay, we're spearing. Make sure they don't fall into the water. Just kick them over." Or whatever. Like we're on the land, like screaming because they're terrifying looking, right? And I'm just like, yeah, one got away.
Yeah, it's fine, Dad. All right, so I'm gonna pop these into the 350 oven for about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Amazing. We are here with Chef Tawnya Brant, who is sharing a few of her favorite recipes with us today. Tanya, that fish is in the oven. It's smelling delish. What are we making next?
So I thought what we would do in the spirit of keeping it gluten-free and indigenous, we're gonna do a succotash.
Oh, amazing.
So a succotash, like I said to my mom, I was like, what is it? Because I know we had it growing up, but it was never the same way twice. And like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to make. Yeah. But she just said, that's what it is though, right? It's one of those things you take out of your fridge. It's just like you're using up all the little odds and ends of whatever you can use and throw it in here. It's quick, it's fast. It's like a 5-minute starch, which is unheard of because you think potatoes take forever, rice takes forever, and this is something that can be done very quickly.
That's amazing.
So what I brought here, we did have some veg. We're gonna start that first, I think.
Perfect.
So we're gonna put some oil in the pan.
What veg do you like to start first?
You know what? They can all go in at once.
Oh my gosh, Tanya, I love this type of recipe.
Yeah, no, it's...
So we got some peppers.
There's no wrong way here. So so we have some red peppers,
Nice.
some green beans. I like working in nice fresh green beans and everything. Just
100%.
the color's so great.
And they stay crunchy.
That's it. And that's why this is a quick cook, because you don't want to overcook it. You don't want a bunch of mushy vegetables,
Yeah.
right? So once you have those in there, we'll work that around a bit. Because these are all quick, like sauteed type of veg. Like that's really all we need to do. We'll put a little bit of our seasoning in there.
Oh my gosh, that smells so good.
We'll do that. It's got some bigger pieces, so I want that powder. And then, but yeah, you're just seasoning it a bit. There's a little bit of salt in here. You can put a little more if you think you need it. Just depends on how much you put in your blend.
Totally.
And what your palate is, what you want.
I'm a salty gal.
I know, me too.
I know, yeah.
I literally have a pin in my truck that says the salt needs more salt.
Oh my gosh. First off, I need that. Yeah. Look at even the color just happening, the little bit of moisture in those vegetables.
You really want to season stuff. It does change the flavor of everything. 100%. A lot of people don't want it, and it's not about putting a ridiculous amount on there, right? But there's things going on. There's a reason why you want to season stuff, right?
Totally.
And you can already see it getting like translucent, so we can throw the beans in right now.
Okay, so these are just
navy beans.
Navy beans?
Any beans that you want. My mom grows about 22 different varieties of Haudenosaunee beans.
Wow.
So you get some pretty cool looking ones, but for me, it's looking at those beans and thinking about what's in the grocery shelves and why do they look like that, right? Because we really don't think about how much the Indigenous contribution to our everyday is, right? They say about 70% of the food eaten in the world today was originally harvested by Indigenous peoples in North and South America.
Wow.
So you got to think, what would be Italian food be without tomatoes, right? Without polenta, without, like, there's so many things that are contributions that we don't really know where they came from, right? And corned beans and squash are definitely a few of those things. So this is what we're going to throw in here. So this is a Tuscarora white corn I brought from home. And this is very, like a staple you'll see, which would have literally probably been about 80% of our diet in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, and this doesn't look like, I think when you say corn, you picture
Like yellow.
Yeah, like can of
Yeah.
corn. But this is totally different. This is the type that you kind of have to treat, right?
Yes, so this has been nixtamalized. We use wood ash, just like from a fire, sift it out, you take out all the little black pieces. So once that's nixtamalized, it just makes it more bioavailable for your body. It puts in a bunch of like niacin, B vitamins. It's just, and it has about 3 times the protein if you were to have a cup of, or sorry, calcium if you were to have a cup of milk to a cup of the corn.
Really?
So yeah, so we didn't, because we didn't have dairy, right? But we also didn't have a bunch of osteoporosis issues either.
Yeah.
So we were getting it somewhere. Right?
Yeah.
And really that's from the, it's from that. I'm just putting a little bit more oil in
That's
here.
amazing. Oh my gosh, the smells, it smells so fresh and bright.
Yeah, you can smell the veg, that's for sure.
Well, I'm also smelling
so,
the fish. Do you think it's maybe?
yeah. Let's, I think we put the succotash down and we can get
Perfect.
to plating now.
I'm gonna get the fish.
This is, yeah, I can touch that. We're good.
There might be a towel. Oh no, it's not too hot. We good. Okay.
Yeah. It's okay, I got chef hands.
You got, I was like, you got chef hands. You're good.
So this is really pretty. It doesn't even have to be, sometimes what I'll do is actually, I'll put, if I want to form it, I'll put quinoa in there.
Oh, nice.
So you can take a ramekin and you can form it, right? And if you want it to be a really pretty dish, but this is hearty.
This is hearty and
fun.
good.
This is home cooking.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And then we've got that beautiful fish.
So
with
we're
that
gonna put the
crust.
fish on. I know.
Oh my
this
gosh,
is so
I'm
yummy.
obsessed. Now, are you like a
Okay.
1 piece of fish or 2, girl?
Probably just one.
Probably just 1. Okay.
Still
love
early.
it. Love
Still
it. It's too early. Yeah, I was like, it's the morning. Yeah.
So what I also brought here is a bit of a puree. So it's a blueberry sweetgrass puree that we make at the shop.
Oh.
I thought that would give it a little bit of a sweet, different flavor for it.
Oh
'cause
my
The rest is a
gosh.
little more savory.
Yes.
And that way, like we use this in the shop for everything. We do a salad dressing with it, lemonade, barbecue sauce. Like it's pretty versatile. Like I only use it once on a menu kind of thing. 'Cause you don't want to overdo everything, but
That's the thing that I love. You've got your spice blend, this amazing sauce. Shall we dig in?
Sure.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
so no shame over here. Just kidding.
No, eating on TV is the weirdest part of my job, but I love it so much. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. That corn. Whoa.
So you get the ranch right away.
100%. There's the ramp, that blueberry sweetgrass. I could
This is a
imagine
totally
putting that in
different
literally
texture.
everything. That is so good. And this is like a perfect protein,
like
right?
how
Like the
when you-
succotash, right?
Yes, so corned beans and squash together make a perfect protein, so that way you would never need meat if you didn't want it. So this is a perfect vegan all-in-one meal. Take it on a picnic, take it anywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
This is amazing. Well, I gotta say thank you to Chuck for catching this fish. Because that is absolutely delicious. Chef Tanya, thank you so much. This was so wonderful. Thank you for sharing these recipes and your stories.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you for having
awesome.
me.
Oh my
I
gosh.
appreciate it.
Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.